not something that comes easy. It's a lot of hard work.
Baxter.
We're a very competitive group.
And they missed the They got layups.
We just work for it every single day until it pays off. My name is Lonnie Baxter. I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland. I grew up in Silver Spring. I went to Springbrook High School, Richard Montgomery High School, and Anacostia High School in the area. I graduated from Hargrave Military Academy. Played basketball at the University of Maryland from 1998 to 2002. I played in the NBA for maybe 3 years, and played basketball overseas until maybe 2012, so about 10 years.
Wonderful. So obviously you have an experience that not many could share. So could you give us a little bit of some insight into what the dynamic is for athletes playing at a high level between themselves and their fellow teammates, and then obviously amongst coaches?
Of course, it's very competitive, trying to win at the highest level. It's not something that comes easy. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of adversity, a lot of resilience. You got to stay extremely focused. We won the championship in 2002 at Maryland, and we fought through a lot of adversity through the years, and we were able to accomplish, our common goal in 2002. But it was all a collective unit between, teammates, gelling together, coaches, listening to your coaches, following, directions, just being coachable and, fighting for that one common goal.
For sure. So that once-in-a-lifetime experience of winning that national championship at Maryland, obviously when we talk about a championship team, like you said, the dynamic, you guys all have to be gelled together and have that chemistry amongst the team. What does that dynamic look like when it comes down to maybe pushing each other to do better? What kind of what does that dynamic look like? Because obviously, what one might assume is that, that dynamic can be very complex. So we're talking about potential conflicts. How can you push each other to do better? What did that look like?
We were a very competitive group. We were very close-knit. We did almost everything together, so it was more like more family-orientated. Even to this day, we're very extremely close. We all communicate with each other. We're all grown men now, but, just coming up as, teenagers, going through college, pushing each other to be better, like you say, in practice. If, somebody's not on their job, then, just lifting each other. It was all about competition. Like, we practice hard every day. Like I say, just fighting for that one common goal, and we knew what we had our eyes focused on and what we wanted to accomplish, and we just worked for it every single day until it paid off.
Could you remember a moment within that year where y'all won the national championship, like some moment of adversity that stuck out to you?
The year before, in 2001, we had lost to Duke. We were up 22 at halftime, and we lost that game in the Final Four, and that really propelled us the next season to come back and show everybody that we were a serious team and not let that happen to us again. We felt like we should have won that game, but, for whatever reason, we didn't. And then the next year, losing that game just propelled us to be much better, more resilient, and come back and win a national championship.
Great. So what would you say conflict looked like within these dynamics? What were some methods that if you all did have issues, how would y'all go about resolving them? And what can you say that you probably learned from those experiences?
There were arguments at times, in locker rooms, but, like I say, we were so close, it wasn't nothing that lasted. We knew who we were. We knew who we were as a team. And, that gel we had on the court, you could really see it off the court. Like I said, we hung out together, we did everything together. And I think that really helped us on the court, because we never really argued a lot, on the court. You could never see us, bickering at each other. Everything was to the side, or, team meetings or et cetera. And I think that helped us, in the way we played. You could see everyone did their job collectively. You knew where everyone was going to be. Everybody, they knew our plays and everything, but we just executed very well because we were that close-knit of a team.
Sure. And right now, you obviously are now different experience, different career path, dealing with sales, and particularly what, I mean, at least from my opinion, would probably be one of the more challenging ones since you're selling a more expensive kind of product, being a car. What does maybe potentially conflict or conflict resolution look like in that atmosphere? And what are some major changes between what you've experienced in the past?
Yes, I'm a car salesman now at Coons of Silver Spring, and there's just so many different dynamics that can go on in one day. The car business, you work a lot of hours, mostly, a lot of times I work, 12-hour days almost every day. You get backlash from customers, things don't go right. I had a customer buy a car and they drove it and hit a pothole, and it was a brand new car, but it was totally damaged because it was an electrical vehicle. And a customer, they didn't tell us they hit something at first, but they were trying to act like the car just died and they didn't want it. And it's just, I mean, there's so many different dynamics that can happen.
Sure.
Customers complain about certain things. Things go wrong at the NBA tags.
And what do you feel like has been your, I guess, potential go-to method when it comes to, because obviously you have mentioned that you've been 6 years into this industry. And so I'm assuming that you might have either noticed either themes or patterns within your interactions or the conflicts that might come up. So what do you feel like is like some of your go-to methods of like handling them?
It's definitely, I'm more mature now than I was when I first got in the business. When it first used to happen, I was like, oh my God, like what was going on? Now I know how to, speak to customers, how to ease people through situations. Or if not, just pass it on to my manager and have them try to mediate it or whatever I can do to try to, ease the situation. But like I say, there's so many things that can happen in a day. It's just the car business is a very extremely busy, a lot of moving parts.
For sure.
There's different dynamics, sales, finance, you have finance managers, you have service. People come in for oil change. The next thing you know, they want to buy a new car because, something went wrong with the car in service, and there's no telling what the day will bring in.
For sure.
In a car dealership.
So, seeing as you have had now two completely different experiences, like I said earlier, a once-in-a-lifetime experience with your basketball career and the dynamics that most of us would never get to experience, and then now being in car sales, and that being a completely different dynamic, but also challenging in its own way. What kind of importance would you say throughout these different dynamics where your interactions with others holds a pretty high level of importance, whether it's your teammates or the people that you're trying to sell your cars to? What kind of importance would you say conflict resolution really holds?
It's a lot. Playing basketball, sometimes, there's a lot of teamwork you have to go. You have to deal with managers, you have to deal with, mechanics. So the basketball taught me a team aspect, that it's not just all about me. You need your team. Basically, I can't sell a car by myself. I know I'm the salesperson. I come in and greet people, but you have managers, you have finance managers, you have mechanics. So that taught me a lot. But yes, in the car business, you don't always get along with everybody. So there are going to be arguments. There are going to be people who try to, quote unquote, snake you out of your deals or whatever. And like I say, I'm a lot mature than when I first started. You just have to keep a level head. There's been times where, I've raised my voice or, and then, got angry or upset. Now I'm more, like I say, 6 years in, I'm more calm. I know how to handle things a little differently, talk to people differently than I did when I first started. Because it is a business that is very stressful. Anybody that's in the car business knows it's a lot of hours, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that, sometimes you can't control. So